things that steer to my heart is trees and the urban forest. And partly it's because I just love greenery around me, but partly it's because I recognize how absolutely vital trees are to our air quality and to making a community livable. And in Oakville, we're blessed, especially in South Oakville, with a lot of trees. They're there because of the way we built South Oakville. So we didn't clear cut everything. We built houses in among the trees. And a lot of times we built relatively small houses on relatively large lots with lots of room for trees. We're lucky to have heavily treed areas in South Oakville, but we're not so lucky in the rest of Oakville. It's been developed more along the modern pattern of where we cut everything down and then we build houses close to each other, not too much land, not too much room to put trees back. And then we try and plant them along the side of roads, but that's not a very good place for trees either. We don't leave them a lot of room to grow. There's not a lot of soil underneath them. The soil is of poor quality. There's utilities running underneath their roots. They're getting sprayed by the salt we use on the roads. It's just not a very good environment for trees. We realized that we were losing trees all the time due to development, due to the fact that they're in unhealthy conditions and they're just not living very long. So a tree planted in a nice area in South Oakville in good soil with lots of room to grow can last 150, 200 years. That same species of tree planted as a street tree in North Oakville will be lucky to make it to 30. So we decided we needed to work on getting better tree canopy cover in Oakville. And the mayor has actually set a pretty ambitious target of 40% tree canopy cover by 2057. He said it'll be this generation of Oakvillians' gift to future generations. But there's a tremendous challenge in achieving that because partly we keep cutting trees down and trees are not surviving very well in our urban areas. And we realized that even South Oakville, that has more trees than any other area in Oakville, was under serious threat. And it was under threat because a lot of new development is happening there, a lot of infill development. So developers were buying these large lots with the small houses. They were clear-cutting the property, and some of these properties had amazing numbers of trees. You know, some of these properties had 50 trees on them. But they were clear-cutting the lot and then building a much bigger house and leaving much less room to plant trees. And we'd be losing 25, 50 mature trees off one property. In fact, one residents group was so concerned about it that they joined with us to protest the loss of trees. They had done a survey, and in just 4 years, they'd lost 10% of the tree coverage in their neighborhood because of this infill development, of old houses being taken down, lots being completely cleared. People said, well, doesn't the town have a say in that? Can't they protect the trees? Well, the town could, once a site plan application had been issued. So a developer comes along and decides that they want to build something, and they create plans, and then they submit the plans to the town. And when they submit the plans to the town, then the town has, as part of their review process, the forester working for the planning department take a look at the plans. And then he can say, well, this is a significant tree and that needs to be preserved, and that's a significant tree and that needs to be preserved. But what was happening, and this was the key thing, is the developers were coming in, buying the property, clear-cutting the land first before they submitted their site plan applications. So by the time it came to the site plan application, by the time the town could have a look at the property, there wasn't a tree left on it. We had to find a way to make a bylaw that would stop developers from clear-cutting trees. It would also apply to homeowners, but we wanted to make sure that it didn't unduly impact them. In the end, we got a bylaw. It's not a great bylaw. It certainly needs improvement. And it hasn't really been doing a very effective job of stopping people from clear-cutting properties. But we're hoping that after the next election, we can work with the town again to tighten up that bylaw. And I think that there's some good support on town council for doing that. I think everyone realizes the bylaw hasn't been as effective as we would like it to be. However, it has achieved some things. And so you can't have developers going and completely clear-cutting a property anymore. They can take down some trees still, the bylaw does allow that, but they can't just go in and wholesale clear-cut. One of the things we did that effectively made our case is we took pictures. We took pictures in South Oakville of properties that had absolutely been leveled, and we had before and after pictures showing the kind of damage that was caused. We had pictures that showed when new homes are built, they put in popcorn trees, nice cute little ornamental trees that really don't have any of the functions of the large mature trees that did exist previously on the property and that never would have. We took pictures of homes in South Oakville that look like logging camps with huge logging trucks piled to the top with massive trunks of trees that were 100, 150 years old. it really proved the point that there was a serious issue that needed to be addressed. So, while the bylaw hasn't been as effective as we would like, it has stopped some of the tree cutting, and we're looking forward to improving it in the future.
You